In a comment the other day, someone said that a console, even though it's a lockdown PC, doesn't mean it's a PC. Well, I mean, I don't think anybody said it's the same as a PC 100%. I think we're just saying that it's a lockdown PC because it's pretty much cut, and a lot of its functionality is reduced strictly to playing video games and shopping from a specific gaming store with bare minimum functionality. Why anybody should pay, exorbitant amounts for them and also pay subscription fees for them is quite baffling. And I think this is where a lot of PC gamers are looking at the whole conversation and coming from. Because a lot of PC players, were console players as well. Not many people started out at home playing on a full-blown PC. That's actually a rare aspect, especially when you think about the millennial generation, where by the time many of us were young, Nintendo, Super Nintendos, PlayStations, and all were already coming into our homes. So as the PC market continues to grow, even with that demographics, it's interesting to see that some people think that, the PC player is not really aware of what's going on console. I think they just kind of, in a sense, decide to themselves that, a PC player doesn't really have, a sense as to what their difference is from the console to the PC. I'm one of those. Never really, had, in my opinion anyways, a console. The first thing I had was a PC. Handhelds were a big thing as well, too. And then, there were some consoles here and there, but the very first few games I remember playing were like Duke Nukem. Remember playing Commandos back in the day. My dad, had changed jobs. So his old job said, hey, take your computer home and stuff. It's your device. And so my stepbrother showed me the way. I mean, shout out to him, big bro. And, he showed me the way of the PC. And I was like, this is it, guys. This is it. There's nothing else, And so that's how I started. I kind of kicked off with that because the home console thing was not something that, we had access to. There was a family comm. You guys remember these family comms that they sell where it will have like, a lot of these old school games in a little console like the Sega games? Yeah, that was about the only console that came through our house, and it was a gift. Like my dad got it in an office gift for his kids, and he never even let us use it. It was my stepbrother that was like, dude, we're going to get this thing out. So I was like, how are we going to do it? He's like, let's go wash, dad's car or something. And we did some chores and he got it out. This is the way we came up. But we always knew that PC had some really cool stuff, and it broke the rules. It wasn't bound to a lot of these things. So we understood that, and I think that's why it was attractive for most of us from a young age. Then for those who are coming to PC, even in their more adult lives, having played on console, they're seeing some of the same things, and it's also attractive to them. For some people, it's not. It's repulsive, and we get it. And to that effect, somebody told me that my head was so far up my butt in saying that a console is a lockdown PC. And I was laughing because I was like, I don't know how else you would actually compare it. And, I don't know what brought my head and my butt into the conversation, but, if there's a way you think it's not, you can probably just say that to me. Just tell me and say, hey, this is not how it is. And exactly because of reasons A, B, C, and D. But that position is actually correct. It's got an operating system. It's got hardware. It uses basically everything a computer would use. In fact, what's crazy is, let me show you guys this one. When Digital Foundry got their hands on what they call the Series X kit, what it exactly is the boards used to make the Xbox's hardware, right? It was called the AMD 4800S kit. Those kits made their way into the ether because their GPU side, that's basically the display side, were poor and they were not functional. So AMD took those boards and repurposed them into boards that you can use in a PC by adding PCIe support and NVMe support and all the things that you usually have on a motherboard. So literally the same hardware just got modded in order to take it to the desktop world. How different, at the end of the day, are these two things apart from one another? All this to say that the PC platform is one that, we are well versed in. Like, we're not saying anything that's out of pocket. And so for a lot of console players who are probably not well versed in the PC side, you have the information out there. You could learn. You could basically get yourself up to speed to understand exactly what the heck this whole race is about. And that way you're aware of, pretty much the whole paradigm. You're not, caught in some kind of some conversation where everything to you, seems like it's antagonistic. And I think that's how some people, they perceive it. They think, oh, this is all antagonistic to me. PC players are here trying to destroy my life. No, we're not. We're just providing what we, have found from the comparisons, especially for those of us that are PC players that played on console for the longest time. And this brings me to the conversation of, PC guys, and the way PlayStation fans will address us, PC guys. Like, here's the thing. Yeah, I'm a PC guy. I've been playing on PC for the longest time. But I've always liked PlayStation, which is weird. Because back in the day, the PC games for soccer were mostly only available, the soccer games were mostly only available on the best soccer games anyways, and all of them were available on PlayStation. And growing up in West Africa, that's basically all we played. So PlayStation was the jam. It was the place to go play your games. In the arcades, it was PlayStation 1s. In your friends' homes that had a game, it was a PlayStation and all that. After the Nintendo started to kind of, take the backseat in terms of consoles in Nigeria back then. And so I've always been a PlayStation aficionado. So if anybody is over here saying, you're an Xbox or whatever it is, they're saying it in a disparaging way. That's what they're trying to do. You see, for the longest time, PlayStation fans have been allowed to go ahead and drag Xbox fans and call them all kinds of disparaging names like Xbox. Now, yes, they call you all ponies, but this is the first time I've ever mentioned the word pony on my channel because I am a PlayStation fan. So if I say the word pony in a disparaging tone, I'm pretty much, disparaging myself. And I understand that that's a term sometimes that people could use in a disparaging sense. But the arguments are the central focus in the whole conversation. So saying Xbox or PC guys or whatever it is, you are missing the entire point of what it is that's being said. If you had strong arguments, you would not need to actually try to disparage anybody. And the question, too, that I've seen come out is, for PC guys, why do y'all care? I mean, I see a lot of folks say this on the PlayStation side. Why do you care that a PS5 Pro is this? Why do you care that PlayStation is doing that? Well, that's because I've said this before. I don't know if anyone remembers. That's because the gaming from Microsoft and, Sony, it affects PC. They bring their crap to PC. And if we like it, we engage. If we don't like it, we don't engage. And, the PSN requirement thing? Oh, yeah, it's got us all talking. Because you see, this bad habit that PlayStation has to be anti-consumer, they don't seem to be able to break it. So it's good for us to be able to point out their anti-consumer, stance so that everybody's aware that this company is not a company of quality because that's how it's been heralded. So what we're doing is we're basically knocking out that, that pedestal. We're knocking it down and bringing PlayStation back to just be just one more greedy company out here to make a buck. And to me, that is the most pro-consumer thing that can ever be done. Anyone who's arguing against this may either not know that these practices are anti-consumer or refuses to acknowledge that they're anti-consumer. So why PC guys are talking about this stuff is because there are people who would, the moment they find out or the moment they probably realize that there's a better platform for them, will make the switch. We're here. We're here to pretty much just, take on those folk who are like, man, I'm done. And we're like, welcome, bro. Welcome to a different platform. That's it. Some people want to stay on console. That's perfectly fine. They have no reason to want to change or switch. That's okay. But at least the information should be put out there. There's nothing wrong with that. Anybody that doesn't want the information put out there, is now engaging in some level of disingenuity, which that's not good. Let everybody put out everything, and then everyone can make a decision as to how they want to engage with their gaming. To me, I think that's a fair conversation. So all of the disparaging and all the name calling, it's not helping. It just makes everybody double down on their resolve at the end of the day. So what we need to do is we need to ensure and see if anybody who's making an argument or a claim out here has any sound claim to make and any claim that actually has any data or any evidence that's backing up what it is that they're saying. If they don't have any of that, then they're basically just talking nonsense. And believe you me, in listening to a lot of folk out here, I have not been able to catch a lot of substance simply because many are not looking at it from different perspectives. Many PlayStation players, many Xbox players have not engaged in the gaming PC landscape, have not delved in, haven't put their feet in, but they have all these opinions about it that they hold as law and gospel. When everybody else is telling them, what are you even talking about? They refuse to even acknowledge that, hey, man, maybe I may not know what I'm talking about simply because I haven't even engaged in this ecosystem. Some of them went and bought really expensive PCs and are like, now I have a gaming PC, so I'm a PC player. Now I know what PC gaming is about, when in reality, they say some things and you're like, I can't believe this is somebody who people give super chats to. Because a lot of people are just not, in a position where they even care to even want to be informed, which is fine for them if that's what they choose to do. But I see no reason why anybody should, engage in disparaging when in reality they could just investigate for themselves to see how things are going. So PlayStation is not, it doesn't provide anything special in the industry. Xbox doesn't really provide anything special in the industry. Well, Game Pass is kind of special. I won't lie, and that thing is stupid. Like how that's Game Pass. Like how, and maybe a few other things here and there in terms of an ecosystem. They're basically appling their way into this whole thing. It's weird. Like I was doing something today. I was like, man, how are all this connectivity across, different, landscapes and such. But yeah, I mean, if you want to go keep hurling insults, that's fine. But, the conversation is still going to go on. Are you willing to engage in the conversation? Are you willing to see what what the platforms do? Do they benefit you? What in the world are you wanting to see from all of this? And I think that's probably where our conversation should be going in the grand scheme of things. So thanks so much for watching the video. Appreciate you guys' time and audience. Hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.